This may sound like a cliche question, but how do you know he or she is the one? The requirements that women have nowadays, I'm like, sis, you know, we tell y'all you can't build a man, but I'm like, sis, if you just get the foundation of a good man, he can be built up into what you need him to be.
This is not once I meet somebody and they got just the frame I like, but they don't got the character that I like, then I think I'm going to change them. No, you will not change that person. This is an Iwegbu production.
Period. Welcome to another Love Lounge. That is with the Iwegbus. Nobody do it better, okay? We answer all of your dating, relationship, marriage questions here, and we had to do 2 tonight because I think that this was really good. Even though she started this question out with saying it's cliche, I think cliches are great answers or questions to answer because somebody has never heard this answer before. So we've actually talked about this subject tonight, but we wanted to run it back because I feel like I have a clearer answer this time. So the question is, hey sis, this may sound like a cliche question, LOL, but how do you know he or she is the one? And I thought that this was a great question because I feel like somebody put in my comments one day and was like, I love how real y'all story is because people, they said the Christian people be making them marriage, the dating to the marriage season, like, and then the clouds came down in the house, and then I had a dream, and then out of my belly I began. It's like, no, we didn't happen like that. We did not have that experience at all. We had our decision to get married. Now looking back, was so freaking logical. Yeah. It like, although we were pregnant, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. Although we were pregnant and we moved fast, still the decision of being together was a very well thought out, logical thing. It was not really like butterflies and oh my God, girl, I saw him and he saw me and I saw like this one girl that I know, an influencer, was talking about her story, and she said when her man walked in, she like physically saw the light beaming behind. I'm like, y'all really be lying? Because I'm like, I mean, maybe it's real, but
I might be real.
I don't know.
I feel like, you know, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be that real.
What?
I don't know if I want to be that real.
Whisper.
About you.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I will say this. That there was like times when I saw you and I was like, yeah, it's something different about her.
He was like, that's different.
Something different about her. And you know, it was something special. I knew that. And so that's what I will say. I would say that and you could tell, and maybe it was me, but I feel like sometimes people stop.
Yes,
people
stop. Go
we
ahead.
Are live, y'all.
Go
real.
Ahead.
Our kids is
go
asking
ahead,
us questions.
Go ahead. Quickly and quietly, no ice.
So yeah, I can't say that it was like it was a light behind you, but it was like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's different. There's something different about her. When I spoke to you, it was just like, how are you this beautiful, but so like real and down to earth? Because your look from most people in a small city, if she cold, if you a dime in small cities, oh, you almost like 100. like you big, right? Because it's rare pickings in a way. Yeah. So you could be like this inflated head, your ego could be so big, but you were so just real and raw. And so yeah, I was like, man, something's different about even when I was, you know, before we was on the tip to where I was available, I was just like, she's cool. And I told one of my partners, like, hey, holler at her. She, you know, she's an available chick. You should holler at her.
So I want to answer the question logically.
Go ahead.
So when I first met Nnamdi, I was in a situationship, and I really honestly did not pay him any mind. The only thing that I remember.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The only thing I remember, seriously, I didn't.
Lies.
Baby.
Okay,
from the first time I met you.
I don't know. I'm just messing around.
I remembered. You want me to be? What you want me to say? I was lusting after him. All I could think about was him. Like, that's not the truth.
It's all good. Go ahead.
So when I saw him, he was on the worship team, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's dope to have. Like, I remember he just like big shoulders and tight shirts and big boots, and he just worshiped really wild. And I was like, that's dope. A man is on fire for God. And I just kind of, went on about it. When we started dating, or no, we were friends. Yeah, when we became friends, what I immediately loved about Nnamdi was honesty and just his integrity. Like, just his aura felt safe. It felt like this wasn't it just felt safe. And I remember when your father asked me why, he was like, well, why? I can't even do them.
Why my son?
That's what he said.
And he just chilled like, yeah, so why my son?
Yeah, he said, why? And I said, to be honest, the first thing that fell out of my mouth, I said, I feel so safe with him. Like, I know my life is going to be straight. I know I'm going to be good with him. And the reason why I say that it's so logical is because there was just a few factors that I knew that I needed. And let me be honest with y'all. I was 21 when I met Nnamdi. I did not have no list. My man need to be. I was fresh in my rapping Christian hip hop. I just really wasn't thinking about a husband like that. But in the pit of me, from what I saw from my father, is what I wanted with my husband, which was a man that loved God, a man that was faithful to his wife and his family, somebody that worked and wasn't a bum, somebody that could, easily do that. So when I came into his life, I was just like, oh yeah, this is really a no-brainer. But it helped that we actually liked each other a lot. So we were friends and we were just kicking it. Like, we were really vibing, just talking. We both loved music. We would listen to music for hours, just sitting in the car or sitting on the balcony. But I will say, I think the way that you know someone is the one is by your own personal convictions. And especially because I feel like maybe your late 20s or something like that. If you're a little bit older and you kind of know what you're trying to do in life and you know where you're trying to go, like having that little rough draft of a list of things that at least the foundation. One thing I knew about me, I'm like, you ain't got the requirements that women have nowadays. I'm like, sis, we tell y'all you can't build a man, but I'm like, sis, that if you just get the foundation of a good man, he can be built up into what you need him to be, and vice versa. You got a good foundation of a woman, and then whatever else we can shape and mold. And so to answer that question, I would say the way that I knew that Nnamdi was the one, I think it was by far the easiest thing that I can just fall out and say is character. I knew that with great character, anything was possible. And he sincerely loved the Lord, not just went to church because he was trying to get some girls or he just wanted to be there. Like, no, he really did love the Lord. And that reflect every single day up until now in our marriage, daily on his face, daily in his word, daily worshiping, daily talking to the Lord. So, but the question is, how do you know if someone is the one for you? I think that there will be a deep sense of safety. I think that you're going to feel safe. I think you're going to feel like I can have kids. We can do this. Like, you'll feel that. And that's what I felt with him. Like, even though I necessarily didn't want a bunch of kids, I was like, we can easily have a bunch and I'm good. Our legacy is going to be good. This is a good man. And then he loved the Lord. So yeah.
I don't got a lot to add to that. I think that was, because it's for a lady, but just some of the ways that I knew that you were the one is you fit my non-negotiables. And if you are a prime time pillow talker, okay, we're big on the non-negotiables, writing out that list. And this is not a negotiable. This is not once I meet somebody and they got just the frame I like, but they don't got the character that I like, then I think I'm going to change them. No, you will not change that person. Okay. Your non-negotiables. It could be some of the shallowest things, like you had to have the pretty toes and all that. You know what I'm saying? It could be some of that. Non-negotiable. That is non-negotiable for me. I promise you, you wouldn't have had them right. Then night, been gone.
I just think that's such a shallow, non-negotiable.
I don't care. Tell people they told me that back then, man. So, one of my people, she's like, "Man, Namdi, you so shallow."
I think that is shallow. Because what if telling me that? Because you got to think about what shallow non-negotiables can do. Like it can be unrealistic too.
Some of it, but hey, listen. You can only shop at this store once you pick them. You know what I'm saying? Message. Can't go nowhere else. Better get what you like. You know what I'm saying? And so I had certain things that had to be done, but also not just from that, but also like you said, from a character standpoint. Look, one of the things that I knew about my wife is that she loved God more than she loved me. I knew that. I could see it. Like I was able to observe her, and that's why I think church is a great grounds to find someone. Mm-hmm. I feel for the ladies because they're, it's so many more of them, and so it's like 10 women to one man.
It is,
but I think it's such a great grounds because before I even knew her in a romantic way, it was even looking at her like that. I was able to see like this girl really on her face, like she really over there crying, like she's really praising him for real. And I think that's very attractive for someone to just, again, love God more. I knew that she would leave me if I didn't love Jesus. She wouldn't, if I start talking about any other religion or something, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll holler at you." I knew that it was cemented that she was going to stay within the faith. And then also just watching from her family. One of the things that I knew could be cultivated, it had to be cultivated a little bit more, but she really is strong in the area was self-awareness. That's really big. It's someone who knows I'm not perfect and I might not have did that the right way and I don't really know. And so they can be remorseful. So I remember that, one of our first times maybe having like a bad argument and she said some things she probably shouldn't have said and that really hit me bad. She came back and she apologized about it. And you don't understand. Like, I think Josh had just said in the chat a moment ago, like being respectful. It's so many women out there nowadays. They got AKs in their mouth, pop, 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 and just be knocking the dudes down. And here's the thing. After you deflate that man and you mess him up, now you got to deal with him in that marriage. What you just talked him down to, now you've deflated his ego. You made him feel low. Now he's going to have self-esteem issues. All this. Now you got to deal with that product of a man. So that's why I think it's so big. Every woman hear me now. Married, want to be married, please talk to him right. You're not going to get it 100% right. But if you do get it wrong, because y'all will have that one argument. I've listened to people from Chip Ingram all the way up to Dr. Darius that they've all had one of those arguments, those bad ones, and they were able to recover from it. So I know that you're still going to have it regardless of what you do. But being that somebody's aware enough to say, you know what, I probably didn't say that right. Like I gave the truth without any grace, or that came from something that I got from my mama and them, from my patterns as far as that goes. Integrity is big. Integrity, is this woman or this man, are they integral? Like, have I watched them? Can I talk to people and they're not a liar? They haven't, cheated on a bunch of people, or they're not doing just a bunch of little shisty little things. Integrity is so big because if that man don't got integrity, if that woman don't have integrity, and y'all relationship is built on integrity, you have maybe he's a provider, but he messing up over at work. He keep losing jobs. It might be for a reason. Like, how long you been at your job?
2 months.
2 months. Why? What happened 42? With the last one? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
you 42?
Right. It's like, what? Why you don't keep because in my heart, I'm really like an entrepreneur. Like, I just really, you know what I'm saying?
No, buddy, you're unstable,
right, you're unstable
in all your ways.
Right. Like, before anybody get to talking that entrepreneur talk, it's like, can you be stable at a job first?
Yeah. That's why I was saying, I think for a man and a woman, it'll just look different. Mm-hmm. Like the traits that you're looking for in a woman is completely different for what you will want in a man, right? So like with a man, like he needs to be stable. He needs to be able to stick at something and go after something. And, even though you say that you're your weakness is like vision and all of that stuff, you still had it though. Like there was still financial, there were still like financial things that you had in place. You might not have known what house you wanted. Okay, I got that. But as far as certain things that I think a man should just have, you had that. And then for a woman, like you said, respect. It's just so many different factors, but it is personalized.
Yeah, and maybe because you spoke a little bit more to the woman, I want to speak to the man on that. Like men, making sure, like I try to tell someone, if she got an AK mouth right now, you're not changing it overnight.
And it gets worse.
I've been in a relationship before.
She's gonna be more pissed off as you get married.
For sure.
If it's bad now, if her mouth is bad,
it could be.
Now,
no, don't get it wrong.
It could
Jesus,
get worse.
Again, this all, don't get it wrong. The blood still works.
Yes.
The impossible can be done. But I don't want you to have to be having to pray for a miracle that just it's like, this is not their DNA. This is not who they are. You cannot shape shift a person. You know what I'm saying? You can't just shift them into who it is that you want them to be. So for men, that is a very big part. Also, men, body count. Do you care about it? Some men act like they don't, but now you mad at her because y'all ran into homeboy at the mall. It's like you could have got somebody with a low body count. Now you want to make her feel ashamed that she had all these numbers.
Did you care about numbers?
I sure did.
You did?
No, I cared about numbers. I cared about who, because we in a small city. Yeah. So I needed to know if I can deal with who, all this different stuff.
I'll never forget that day.
Yeah. I need to know. Some people now, y'all can make an agreement that doesn't matter to you. But men, listen, you know her count.
To most men.
Do her, I call it a whole facts or something. Like you need to do a whole facts. Like holler at the bros. Hey, what you call it? Yeah, what you know about her, homie? You know what I'm saying? Like I want to know, because they have some information. They may know somebody who knows somebody who used to talk to her, and you may need to know that information. So many different things that can go. So many different nuances when it comes to who it is that facts. You. Yes. Telling you.
How do you know? I'm making this a clip. How do you know that someone is the one? Check the whole facts.
For sure. I want to know. Let me run this report real quick. What's going on with you, bro?
Hey, man, did you run a report on me?
I think let me see.
You asked people about me?
They didn't. None of us really knew much about it.
Okay, she was giving mystery.
Nobody, we didn't know much about you.
Nobody knew.
Yeah. Nobody knew much about you. I think everybody's like, who is
First of all, because I was young and I actually only dated like 2 people seriously.
Yeah, I knew enough through certain people who you had talked to before me.
No, you knew through me who I talked to.
No, I knew through, I knew who it was. Yes, I did. You did? Mm-hmm. I remember that, because I remember that just because I was cool. We were both cool with somebody who knew a lot of information and loved to give it. Okay. So let's just say that he loved to give the information that we needed, and so I knew who to go to about who you around, who you be with, and so I knew a lot of different things about you.
No, you did not know.
Not a lot.
Not a lot to know.
I knew enough about who you dealt with.
Yeah,
enough of that when it came to it. So again, check those things out, man. I think that those could be some helpful ways. But again, write this out, man or woman. What is it? You're single, and you had a clean slate right now. You just got over that breakup. You had a clean slate. That last relationship was horrible. You had a clean slate. Don't go back. Okay? Don't go back. Move forward. Write down, okay, she was bad with her mouth. After that, when I was in a relationship with somebody who just chopped off at the mouth and would chop me down, I said, no more of that.
That's why they say dating is data.
Data,
you can say it either way, yeah. Dating is data, because if you don't screw them, like if you don't have sex, you can really leave gracefully. But when you date somebody, you're like, I didn't like the way that made me feel. I don't want to ever deal with that again. Put that on my non-negotiable list. I can't have no lazy man. Nope. Nope. I need an ambitious man. Like you can collect that data and add it to, just create the ideal man, woman that you want. And
not create, but find.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, not create. And just, I want to make it very clear. it might not be a super magical thing. That's where I wanted to end this. It might not be when he walked in the restaurant, you sensed in your spirit and God gave you a dream. Just because people are making it seem like when they found the one that it was like this super deep prophetic thing, that does not mean that that is your story. And it's actually not most people's story. Most people date, they get to know each other, they meet the family, and they grow a sense of safety and love and like for this person. Marriage is way more logical than we actually tend to make it seem. So don't over spiritualize it. It's still spiritual, but don't over spiritualize what your experience could be with finding the one.
I was laughing because I'm thinking like somebody is waiting for the prophet to come and tell them like he's the
James.
one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they just waiting on like
you
hear all these stories. Yeah, I heard prophetically. I heard God say like audibly.
I heard God.
Don't get it wrong.
Say,
listen,
Tekeishia.
I'm sorry I haven't went through an audible moment. Okay, I'm just saying. I've only heard, but man, I'm like, y'all heard his voice? Like, really?
Hey,
like, no, he's like, you heard
baby prophets,
God?
Baby.
No. I've heard
You're
people say
being
audible.
funny.
No, I'm saying no. I think some prophets definitely got that. Like, some people got the gift of it, but when I hear it too much, I'm like, yeah, come on now. I don't know. I'm that guy who's still a little skeptical on some of those things.
God said he my husband.
Y'all pray for me.
Sis, he's married. God said, we gonna be married. Sis, he is married right now. That's not God. That is your desire.
Yeah.
It's your desire.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be like, some people get a little too spooky and weird for me. This is an Iwegbu production.
Period.
Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content. Yes. Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Iwegbus. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.